Hey, welcome to my journey into another weigh-in video. We back in the craft room because it's just too hot outside. Listen, I went down and picked the garden today. I'm going to put a picture of what I got on my Facebook group. Holly's been picking like crazy. And what I got today was crazy. And the squash, we'll talk about it in a minute. We're here for the weigh-in. So, I tell you every week, I don't know what to expect. I just don't know. Honey, I knew what to expect this week. I think I even said it in my haul video. I've been eating like I was going to the electric chair. Now, for me, let me tell you, I gained 1.2. And I knew I was going to have a gain. I just didn't know how much. But the weight, when you get your standard of eating, how much you're used to eating, if you add anything to it, you're going to start gaining weight. When you get yourself set on that's your goal, where you're losing weight, maintaining whatever, when you add to it, that's when you start gaining weight. Y'all know that. So I think what little bit I did add to it, even though I felt like I was eating all the time and I felt like I was eating too much, I still can't eat but so much, but I was eating more often and I could eat more at a time than I've been able to. And I don't know what's up with that. I don't know where that came from, but my appetite this week was crazy. And so I did add more to my typical eating like a bird. So I knew there was going to be a gain. I've got to try to find a way to rein it in. If my stomach's going to hold more, I've got to figure out, mentally get this in here. Don't eat it. I felt hungry all the time. I just felt hungry all the time. It's not been like it's been this past how many ever months when I've been on that hot streak, So anyway, that puts me at 158 point something. Listen, I didn't care about that point something enough to check it on my phone before I started recording. It was 159 point something last week, and I thought, if I can lose this week, I'll get to the 160 and do another button, but was not to be. So anyway, yeah, I gained 1.2, which, listen, that's your weight loss journey. You're going to have ups and downs. It's just, it's been a long time since I've had one like that, so I've been very fortunate. But no, I went down this morning to pick, because Holly, she picks all the time. And so I went down this morning, thank goodness it rained like a monsoon yesterday, and I did not have to water. I hate watering that big old garden. Oh my gosh, I hate it. But you have to do it if you don't get the rain. And so I went to pick for her. And oh my gosh, that's what I was saying. I'm going to put a picture of what I got just today, just this morning, just me. She didn't add nothing to it on my Facebook group. There is a little bit of okra. Now, we're not going to have hardly no okra this year. Last year, the okras was above our heads. I mean, above our heads. And we had so much okra, it was not even funny. And I had okra in the freezer, which I need enough to put in the freezer this year, and I'm not going to get it. I'm hardly going to get enough to make a mess to eat. What I got today was not a full mess to eat, as much as we like to eat it, a good helping of it. So I'm going to go to the farmer's market. I'm going to get me some fresh okra, because I am going to have fresh okra in the freezer for this winter, and it will be so much cheaper at the farmer's market than to buy little bitty packs of it in the grocery store during the winter. I don't typically do that. That's just too expensive. It's like $3 or something for like maybe a little 12-ounce pack. No, not doing it. And also the squash are not putting on this year like they did last year. I've got a lot of squash in the freezer, but nowhere near enough that I need to last through the winter, because I used up my okra and my squash, the ones I fry, pretty quick last year. So I really wanted a lot of that in the freezer this year. So I'm going to buy some of that at the farmer's market. I told David, I said, they ought to just give it to me, because people all the time trying to ditch their yellow squash or their zucchinis because they get so many. Well, ours just didn't put on like that. And he planted a late little rows, several plants, how many ever? They didn't even come up. Did not even come up. And where the beans messed up, we dug them up. He planted another row of okra, and that's just come up sparse, and 2 more rows of corn, and it come up sparse. So we don't know. I think it was Susie. She was saying, it's just like that. You garden and you don't really know. I don't know how, well, I guess I do know how big companies who grow it to sell it, they have all the science, and they got everything down pat, and they got money to do anything they need to do, and blah, 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 blah. We just home gardeners, you know what I mean? We just out in the field gardeners, so we get what we get. But golly. And our green peppers, loaded. I picked so many of them today, but they're like this big. They've been on there for weeks. I'm not exaggerating, and are not growing any bigger. So I said, I'm just picking them today. I left some like that. There's some that was turning like that, and I pulled them. But the other ones that were little, I left them on there. Maybe pulling all these, maybe they'll grow. I don't know. Maybe there was too many on the plant. They wasn't getting enough, whatever they needed. I don't know. I don't know. Pulled a lot of banana peppers today. I think I'm going to can another batch of banana pepper pickles, pickled banana peppers, whatever you want to call them. I think I'm going to can another batch of that. Because there's plenty of them, and I got plenty in the freezer, I think. And I think Holly has plenty in the freezer. I'll ask her. If she don't, then I'll freeze her some up here. And then I got more cucumbers. I told David, I said, if you think I'm making another pickle, you is wrong. You is wrong. Ain't no pickles coming. On the pickles. On the relish. Not happening. He said, we'll just have to eat them. Listen, as many cucumbers as I got today, we ain't never going to get them eat. They'll just have to rot. They'll just have to... We'll never get them cucumbers eat. And you know, sometimes some of ours this year again are bitter. Do y'all get them bitter cucumbers? I looked it up, and there's something, I think I told y'all before, it starts with a C. It's supposed to help protect the plant from something, and sometimes it can cause it to be bitter. So far, in the pickles we've eaten, I've not tasted it. It says, I've looked it up, it says it won't cover it up pickling it, but any of the cucumbers, pickles that I've eaten, or the relishes and things, I've not detected any bitterness. Knock on wood. It's up there. So anyway, and I got tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and the okra and the squash. Not much of that, but I did get some. So that is what I got out of the garden today. Oh my gosh. I picked, and I got stung by a dead burn bee. You know them, they're not bumblebees because they're not whatever kind of, they look shaped like a bumblebee, but they're kind of blue or whatever that goes on your cucumbers especially. I must have dug down in there to pick it up, and he must have been sitting on it or something around there. Because as soon as I put my hand in there, I felt something. I let out a scream, and Jacob, he likes to play in my car, and it sits right there outside the fence. He said, what? I said, I got stung by a bee. It was hurting. It hurt a long time before it finally quit. But yeah, that little thing got me. So then I get home, I go over there, and my one basket had everything. Well, no, my one basket had cucumbers and okra and squash. And I just dumped it. I run some water in the sink, and then I dump the stuff in. Normally, I will put the stuff in there and let the water run while it's in there and just stick my hand down in there and swish it around. Well, this time I didn't. I was letting the water run while I was piddling around cleaning up, because I'll tell you that in a minute. And when the water, when the produce hit, up come a bee. One of them kind that stung me. I started hollering to David. I said, bee, 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 because he's sitting there on the couch. He's like, well, squirt it with the hose. So I said, I'll get him with the, it was the Mr. Clean. So I got him with that. He said, oh yeah, that'll get him. So he was just struggling around when I got him scooped up on a piece of okra and dumped him on the other side where the disposal was. And he's a history of a bee. History. So I get all that washed. I scrub everything because when it rained, it knocks that dirt in there, all that stuff. So I scrub everything. I don't just rinse it off. And then I got my mater basket. It always so heavy. I wish I had weighed it. I couldn't hardly pick it up. And when I did, there was a wasp. I started hollering at David. I said, wasp, wasp, wasp. I said, get the fly swat. He said, where is it? I said, right in that thing. So he come over there and he starts swatting that thing. He got it. Oh, I said, man, if I stuck my hand down in there and that thing got me, I have never brought home no bees, and I've never got stung. So I don't know what was up with the day. Them things was not having it. But yeah, that was my garden adventure today. But I had boys. Tuesday I had Jacob, I had Sebastian. Tuesday, he spent the night Tuesday. I had both of them Wednesday, and then Sebastian went home, and I had Jacob Wednesday, and took him home this morning when I went to pick. And Jacob told me, he said his mommy rearranged his room, and when we got back to his house, when I got through picking the garden, he wanted to be a surprise and come and see what his mommy did. And he was so proud of her. He said, I'm so proud of her. So when I got through picking, we went up there, and he showed me his room where she put everything. She did a deep clean, and she reorganized and got everything changed around, and he loves it. He just loves it. But Lord have mercy. After 2 days with the grandbabies and going down there picking and driving, because it's a good half hour more down there and half hour more back, and when you're tired already, I am pooped. I had to come in this morning and clean up the mess. You know, if you have youngins or grand youngins, and when you let them do what they want and eat what they want, there's bowls and toys and stuff strung from one place to another. And so I come in and I got all that done. Had to get laundry going. Had to get all my produce washed. Had to get the dishwasher unloaded. I'm tired. David had to go to the chiropractor, and today was Criminal Minds season finale. Don't know how I feel about it. Last week I couldn't wait to see it, and this week I just don't know how I feel about it. I just don't really know. It was slow, but there was some good parts. That was like OMG. And then the way it ended, I was like, I'm kind of torn of what I think. And I can't figure out which way they're going to go with it. If they do come back for another season, I can't figure out what they're going to do. So, all in all, it was a good season. I think maybe each season had some good parts, but I think, as a whole, maybe this one flowed a little bit better. Maybe they're getting their groove on a little bit better. I don't know, but still don't have no children watching it because it's very cussy. So don't let your children be around if you're watching it. Holly has to watch it when Jacob's taking a nap. Or when he's gone off somewhere with, his daddy or something. But that's what I've been doing. Now tomorrow, pray for me. Big baby goes to get her ablation on her back tomorrow. It says they do conscious sedation. I don't know what that means. I'm not going to look it up because it might make me nervous. It might make me think I'm just going to be loopy and still know what they're doing. I don't want to know. I just want to go in and be done. So don't nobody tell me. Don't nobody tell me what conscious sedation is because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be no more nervous than I am. I've told y'all and told y'all and told y'all I am not a baby to pain. I can take pain. I don't like pain. I ain't going to sign up for it. But I can take pain. I push through. But there was something about that one time it got me really, really, really bad. And then the couple ones after that. But this time where he blocked it, I told you I couldn't take it. I cried. It hurt. That's why they said go to the surgery center. We got to be downtown Charlotte at 8:15 in the morning. Downtown. We're going to be in traffic. We're going to be downtown. We don't know where we're going. It's going to be rough. And it says if the parking lot at the center's full, then you can go down the street and park somewhere. I'm like, that's probably where we'll end up. And then we'll have to walk who knows how far. So, but I'll tell you this, as nervous as I am, I'm excited because I can't take this much more. And David, he's been going to the chiropractor with his back. He had something in his back pinching that made his right leg weak. He couldn't hardly step it in front of him. So he's been to the chiropractor twice this week, and they've been really, really working on it. And he has weakness in his legs. He can't hardly get up off the couch. And he's not a weak man. He's always been very, very strong. I mean, just very strong. He can't hardly get up off the couch. His legs are just about giving out on him. And he asked him about that today. He said, that's not from your back. He said, that's from your back. Your back would be hurting. You would tell. He said, your legs, they're just weak. He said, you need to work on them. He said, if you just stand on one leg and then, change around to the another leg, something else, he said, that'll help strengthen them. Who would have thought standing on one leg? But I guess you're holding all your weight on that one and you're clenching up them muscles. So, yeah, he told him to do that. But he goes back next week. I'm going to see, I meant to ask him last time because now I've got to go up in where he's doing my very lower back, my SI joint. I don't know how many up he's going to do. If that's the only joint he's going to burn or if he's going to go up a couple like he did when he blocked. I don't really know what he's going to do. He needs to go on up because it's that whole area. But right above, like in the middle, I can't hardly hold it up. So that's going to be my next project. When I get my bottom back fixed, then I'm going to have to go to my middle back and get it fixed. So we shall see. I meant to ask him, can I go to the chiropractor with that? But David, he's got to take work off tonight because he has to drive me tomorrow because of that sedation. So he's got the night off of work. And which is good because I didn't want to drive downtown Charlotte anyway. I drive everywhere we go. He's a professional truck driver. Excellent driver. But it's a control thing. If I'm in the passenger seat, I feel out of control. And I'm nervous. And He makes me nervous though, because he still drives like he's in a big truck, and I can't explain it, but he makes me nervous. And like I said, it's a control issue. But driving downtown Charlotte, I'll gladly hand the wheel over to him. Gladly. So, put Jacob to bed yesterday. He didn't sleep for his nap, so he went to bed early last night. He passed out. Well, about 6 o'clock or something, I felt something in the bed, and I rolled over. And he's laying there just looking at me. I said, "You little snake." So he woke up and come in there and crawled into bed with me, and we went back to sleep for a little bit. And then when I got up, he was still asleep, and I went there to get me a mater sandwich. I've been having them every day. We having a mater sandwich every day. They're so good. And that's what I was having for breakfast. And I was standing there, and all of a sudden, you don't hear a thing. He creeps in, undetected. He goes, "Boo!" Jumped a little bit. Sebastian used to do that to me. I don't know if it's just, Jacob don't know Sebastian used to do it. When Sebastian was little, he would get up and he would come in there. Well, when he was little, he would say, "Good morning, Momo." He'd be in the bed, and he would just scream it, "Good morning, Momo." And then he got to where he'd come in there, "Boo!" I'm like, "Well, you better stop that." But he's getting so big. Oh my gosh. He's getting so big. He's going to be 9 in December, and Jacob will be 4 in August. Excuse me. Where was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was talking about the Cairo syrup for the homemade bubbles. Holly's giving him a birthday party, and she's going to have outdoor activities for the children, because now he's in the church in Awanas, and she's got friends, and they got children, so she's got more children to be coming, and she wants them out of the house. She don't want them in the house. She said the AC will be in there for like the older people that need to sit in the house for the AC, but everybody else is staying outside. And it's going to be water. She got little squirty toys and stuff like that at the Dollar Tree, and she asked me would I make some of my homemade bubbles. It's a wonderful, I said I would write it in the description box on my haul video, so I'll try to, I know I won't get it written on this one just because I'm tired and I want to get this done. So if you want I'll just tell you, it is 2 cups of warm water, a 1/3 cup of white Cairo syrup, and a 1/4 cup of Dawn, not any other, Dawn dishwasher detergent, and just shake it up. I use one of David's old orange juice jugs. It'll make 2 batches. It'll hold 2 batches. And it blows the best bubbles. Oh my goodness, it blows the best bubbles. It really does. It blows it better than that commercial stuff. So, I'm going to make her some of that. I don't know how much I'll need to make, though. I might need to get one of them big containers from the Dollar Tree and make a huge one, because I don't know how many youngins and how much bubbles she's going to need. But I'm going to do that for her birthday. I think she's going to do his birthday. He wants another Mario cake. He had Mario last year, but he wants another Mario cake this year. But she's just going to do like pizza, cotton candy, cake, nothing fancy. She didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. She didn't want nothing fancy. She didn't want to be in there doing all the work. She had a big bunch of work she did last year. It was so good. And she don't want to do it. I said, "You don't need to." Back when we had parties, we didn't have all this eating suppers and dinners and lunches and all that. We had cake and ice cream, right? Maybe some tater chips. Ain't that what we had at birthday parties growing up? Yeah. There was no eating to it. So there ain't nothing wrong with going back to the old school way, but that's what we're doing for his birthday party. And Sebastian won't be here for his, because his is the 16th of December, so he'll be up there. Oh, and Holly said, RJ's Holly, that they were going to put her in and induce 2 weeks early. Her due date is the 8th, and they want to put her in because they're afraid of preeclampsia 2 weeks early and induce. So then he or she will be a November baby. She still wants to know, RJ still does not. So I said, I didn't want to know on mine. I said, but the only thing, because she said, like, one part of her family is going to give a big baby shower in Charlotte, and see, we were going to give her one, and she said, no, they said, y'all come to that one. I'm thinking, okay, we'll go to that one. I said, the only thing I can think about knowing what it is you get more stuff geared towards that gender instead of a lot of neutral stuff. RJ's like, well, I'm trying to convince her, and I almost had it. You're not helping the situation. I said, no, I get both sides, but it is fun to be surprised about what it is. What is it? You know. And I knew what both my babies were. I knew RJ was a boy, had a boy's name picked out. Knew Holly was a girl, had a girl's name picked out. Did not have a girl picked out for RJ, did not have a boy picked out for Holly. I just knew what they were. I guess that was just my mother's instinct. So, well, I think I'm going to do something I don't typically do. I did it last week. I always watch my videos to see if I misspoke anything, I need to add anything to the screen, if I said something wrong or whatever. But I ain't coughed or nothing like that. I don't have nothing to cut out, nothing to edit out. I think I'm just going to throw it up. I'm not going to listen to this, and I'm just going to leave it up. There you go. So that's all I'm going to talk about today, and come back tomorrow for, it's not really much of a haul. It's more, well, I did get some things, but I just showed them to you in the car. So it's like another chat and ride. So I'll see you then.